Okay, today we're going to look at this tape player, this tape recorder here that my friend has, and it stopped working today. He dropped it, and we don't know what the problem is yet. Hopefully it's not a cracked circuit board. Usually when you drop stuff, it may get cracked. The circuit board may get cracked, and then it won't work no more because the circuit board gets cracked. This happened with a TV a long time ago when I was in my other group home, and with Robert around, he's not living no more. He died, and what happened is that he threw a TV, and then and the staff plugged it back in, and they couldn't get no channels to come in. I took it apart, and I found out that the reason why there was more channels coming in, because right by the TV tuner circuit board it was cracked, so it lost connectivity between the rest of the circuit board and the tuner. Anyway, I'm going to take this apart. I'll explain how this thing works. Looks like you didn't break the buttons. Usually these tape players, there's buttons here. If you bang these buttons or push hard pressure against them, you may end up getting them when they're stuck down and they're loose, become loose, and then they don't want to go back up. So we're gonna look into the whole thing. I don't know if you tried plugging into headphones. I'm not sure. I don't know. But anyway, it should be all played to the speaker. I looked through here in the head. It looks like when I push play, you can see here that the thing lifts up. If I can push it, plays right here. See, the thing lifts up, and basically that's the play part. At least something wrong with the play part. That's what he said was wrong with it. Is he couldn't play it. Had problems playing it. So I'm hoping to God that there's nothing wrong with the board. Because the board may get cracked if you drop it. That's one of the common things that can happen to a device to make it stop working after you drop it. Is that the board can get cracked. Circuit board. So anyway, let's begin taking it apart. Okay, I got it, took it apart here. Here's the speaker here. It's an 8 ohm, 1 watt speaker. And I believe the chip in the middle of that there is an amplifier chip. Because I looked it up, I didn't understand it very much. It was in Chinese or something, most of it. So it must have come from China. And but I see 1W on it. That must stand for 1 watt, and then it was the schematic of the diagram of it looked like it was an amplifier chip with op amps in it. Anyway, this here is the motor for this, I think, yeah. For the tape player, for these gears here to turn. Don't think the motor ever broke. The thing is, these tape players, nothing it could have been. It could have been a gear inside it. You have to be extremely careful taking these things apart. Anyway, so far I haven't seen any wires broken out of it, or no circuit board's cracked. But doesn't mean the circuit board is cracked. It could be the trace could be cracked, not the circuit board. Well, we can figure that out. We have to flip the whole thing upside down and look at the back of the circuit board to see if it looks like the trace has been cracked or broken off of, or has a little bump in the trace. Usually it'll tell you if it's been cracked or not. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is look at this motor here. It has these on it. I might be able to attach wires to this here and send some power to it. Well, now what kind of voltage does this motor take? The whole thing takes 5 volts, so I bet it takes 3 volts on it. Alright, since it probably looks like it comes from here. Not sure. The motor's fine not broken. I could try testing it out, see what happens, see if it does turn any of these. Actually, that would be a very good idea to test that motor. There's red and black wire. It doesn't matter what wire you wire on a motor. That's 2 wires because it goes any which way. The thing is, if you flip the polarity, it goes to the motor will turn the opposite direction. In fact, that's why this right there you see there's 2 transistors. The output for the motor. Because it has to be one for the one polarity and other one for the other polarity. For fast forward and rewind. Since fast forward does one direction, rewind does the other direction. So I don't know what we're going to do to test it. We're going to need to figure out what voltage this motor takes. We can unhook it from here. So I just did it. I unhooked it from the board. Before we take any more further taking the steam motor apart, we're going to test the motor to see if it turns any of these. We want to see if it turns. If it doesn't turn, then we know that there's nothing further we going be worth doing, because we know that it could be a gear problem or basically a gear problem. Usually that's causing it. So I wonder if I can take these batteries here that were in it, see my power source. I have to think about this. I'll look it up on the internet, type in these numbers. Let's go ahead and go on the computer and do that. Okay, I just typed in the number that was on the motor, and I come across this. It's a 2.19 volt. Let's click on it, see what it says. Maybe it'll tell us more about it. It's a 6-volt motor. So I could probably run off of USB if I wanted it to. So I could take my USB port on the computer and run the motor. I don't know if I want to do that or not, but we could try something like that. Or use a 5-volt power supply of some sort. Anyway, the motor like this, we'll just do is test it, see if it turns these the gears on, turns the thing that makes the tape turn on it, and basically see if that will help. I don't know why that's zoomed in like that, but it's because of my mouse. Basically we'll test, see if it's works. This also was manufactured in March 31st, 2016. So it's not that old. These capacitors on it, they don't look bloated or anything like that, but I doubt that would be the problem since you're saying that it's just plain, and we never know. But I'm not going to test capacitors. Not with these. Anyway, let's figure out a way to send power into this motor. I could strip but I don't want to strip the wire off. All I just do is just take wires and touch them on there. That's what it does. Let's do that. Just now I figured out that's a 6-volt motor, which is I think it'd be correct since it takes four C-size batteries, which is 1.5 volts each. Put them in series, they add up, you get 6 volts. Is 1.5 times 4 is 6. Okay, I have the motor hooked up to a 5-volt power supply of this electronic learning lab for Radio Shack. Let's see what happens. See if this motor will turn. I think it does turn when it does it, but I don't know if that's the way it's worked. Let's turn it on. As you might be able to see right here, it's moving. Right there, it's going around in circles right there. That's going around in circles. And so is that gear. I probably need to put a tape in and press play. That's probably what the next thing that they need to do is see if it turns with that. Because we must test the motor to make sure it ain't the motor's problem. Because if it is, you can't fix it. Most likely, it would be too hard. Because you're not going to really try buying these gears for it. You might as well buy a whole new tape player. So next I'm going to do is I think they left. I think John left. I don't think I have no tape player around here. Not tape player, cassette tape. I can put into it and then see if it would actually turn with it in it. I might be able to try it. I'm going to try doing next. Let me see if I can. I might be able to hit play and then it might be able to see if it turns. Okay? I'll see if I can do that. If not, I'll have a tape put in. See if I can stop this video. Okay, I have it hooked up now. For one of the buttons is down. I think it's the play button, but we're gonna see what it does. It did it. There's turning, then it stopped, but it's still turning because there's nothing stopping it. Basically, it's because of that. When that switch flicked off, it turns the motor off. But since that switch is not hooked up to the motor, it's hooked direct up to this power supply, it'll continue running. I don't think the motor is a problem. But anyway, if you know what this thing here, this is just a sensor switch, tells you if you have the lid open, so that knows not to turn on. There's 2 wires coming from this piece here. It's a switch that opens and closes when the lid's on and off. When you insert the tape. I'll see if I'll try. And the next thing to do is try taking apart the rest of the way without. I'm gonna try to do it, and if I can't do it without it, I'll just leave it alone. If I can't take it apart, if I have to take all these gears out, if I have to take any gears out, I'm leaving it alone. So I'm not gonna mess the whole thing up. before I was taking apart even further, I'm going to explain what the part of the circuit does before I even take it apart further. Because I figured out that I could take a detached the speaker and the battery holder. That actually might have been for the battery holder. No, that's not the battery holder. The battery holder's in this part. That's the switch for to tell if there's a tape, if you're trying to put a tape in or tape out. Anyway, this is the mode I was talking about. Yeah, and there's two gears, there's two turn things, whatever they call them. There's a head here. And that might be a head. I think that's a head there as well. This here I know is the play head. The play had a head for play, for reading. This might be a head for recording. Right here. This is the microphone. And let's see if there's anything else here that I can show you. This here, this black thing right here that I'm toggling, that there's when you into a tape, if there's a gap, there's a hole there, it will go down and it'll let the tape know we can't record to it or not, depending on if there's a hole there or not. I believe that if there's a hole there, you can't record. If there's a hole there, you can't record it. But if the hole is gone and it's filled up with something, which you can record any tape if you want to. All you just gotta do is just put a piece of paper in that hole, and you'll be able to record to it, because it'll confuse the tape player thinking that it's a recordable tape. And I think that's about it. Now I'm going to finish taking it apart, see if we take a look at the bottom of this board, see if it's cracked or not. Okay, I didn't want to take the rest of it apart because it looked too hard. Anyway, another thing is that when I put it back together, I started to mess around with it by pressing rewind. Nothing happens. Fast forward. Nothing happens. The eject works, of course. It's like the whole thing's dead. So I'm wondering if the batteries the whole time were just dead. Is the reason why this thing didn't do nothing. I have a meter. I can measure those batteries. I can test those batteries out and see if they're actually providing enough voltage enough to run it. So let's go ahead and do that. Take these here batteries you see back behind here, the C batteries, expensive ones. Don't know why they had to use that on there. I want them because well, it says right here that it draws 550 milliamps. And that's kind of a lot for just one from one battery from AA, or that's probably why it shows C-side batteries, because it lasts longer. As long as they don't use heavy duty type batteries like you've seen in my battery amp hour myth episode where I tested a bunch of batteries and found out that the heavy duty batteries are not that good. They're just lower than the regular alkaline or high energy ones like these are rated. They don't last long. They have different amp hour ratings. Amp hour means how much current it'll provide for per hour, and it'll lower down. It'll disproportional. Anyway, let's go ahead and test these batteries and see if they're getting good or not. To do this, we're going to put our meter in voltage DC, and we're going to do it as the maximum of 1.5 volts, or if you have the lowest you can go, it's on this one, it's 2 between that range. 2 volts on the manual range meter. This is an old meter. This is from older days I have it still. I ordered it because I like it because it's Tektronix, which is a good brand. And let's see what happens when I put these batteries up. See if this one's any good. Wow. I don't know about that. That's kind of low. I'm thinking it's the batteries. Let's try another one. Wait and see. We'll try them all. May I write them down? We had 1.19 for that one. Get notepad up here. Hang on. Okay, I entered it in the notepad. That was 1.99, right? I measured again. Yeah, 1.199. Next battery. That battery's pretty good. This one here is pretty good. This one's still good. 1.422. We'll enter that in. But when these batteries that are weak, it can lower the current on it, and then it will degrade power on it. Just to let you know, because it has to go through all these batteries just to make the full voltage. I'm in 4.22. Okay. Next battery. 1.9194. That don't seem good at all. Supposed to be 1.5. Close to that. But the thing is, we'll see how well it adds up at the end when I take it add up on the calculator. Wow. 1.2 for that one. Most of the batteries in there. Let's see how many batteries I've calculated that way. Okay. Here it is. This is what I did. I took all the battery voltages that I measured, and I put them in an Excel spreadsheet. And then you can see over here in this column right here, the total voltage. Over here, the batteries voltages I measured. And we get a total of is 5.0015. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure it needs more power than that. As it takes 550 milliamps, and it goes to batteries. Gets it to the batteries, and if it goes to batteries that are almost dead or pretty low, it'll make it where the current won't be very strong. Because inside these batteries there's resistance. And as they draw very much, the resistance increases. And that could be the problem why none of these buttons on this thing ain't doing anything. What I'll try to do next is I'll try to make sure I'm correct on this. I'm going to try to hook up a power supply to it to see if we can get it to turn on, turn off that way. Hopefully it can work. I do have connectors for it that I do sell. I'll use one of them. Hopefully I can find one that fits it. I don't know if I have any that'll fit it. Let's see. Looks pretty small connector. I don't think I have one that small. Anyway, what I have to do is try to get them new batteries. Those must I don't think they're pretty new because they'd be around 1.4, like the 1.422 one. That one's pretty good. That one's still good. I'd say that one's pretty good. But the rest of them, like a 1.999, 1.94, the 1.2, ain't very good. It's supposed to be 1.5. That's pretty low between that. And the reason why it adds up to 5 volts is because there's 4 of them it takes, and each battery has 1 base 1 volt in it, so at least it gets 4 volts out of the whole thing, about a little bit over that. Well, that's it for now. Also, make sure you pray for John. He's having kidney problems, and he had surgery today, and he's recovering from surgery. So, anyway, make sure you pray for him, because he got surgery on his kidney for cancer he might have if they didn't take action on it. Anyway, well, that's about it now. He'll have to try putting new batteries in his thing and see if that helps. I'm not going to try to silence the wires on this or doing his thing, because it's not my thing. And it's gonna be hard trying to do it when you can't get the board out. You have to have that connector, and I don't have that connector. That connector's too small.
Randy, here's the telephone. I don't know how to turn it off. Busted. Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching. Please visit my store and subscribe to my channel. Please visit my website, as we can still keep on going with these videos. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. If you like it.
Okay. I'm coming slow.